Hello everyone, I'm Havoc, and this is Factorio Space Exploration Plus. In this episode, we've got a few things to work on. Number one, I'll go back and I'll show you. You're going to see a lot of these little black spots. These are scorched earth marks. That's right. We have destroyed every biter nest within a range. What you see here are these are clusters of them coming to attack that it caught while the blast was heading over, and it updated the radar for a brief moment. That's no longer there. And we have really pushed back everywhere but down here in the bottom and over here. And that's because if you look at my track, you'll see it goes to the left, up, and back to this point, and then goes to the right, down, and to this point. And that's all we've done. We've got to expand down to here to get to this point where we can take care of that, because this right here is going to do some damage. The advantage of this point is that these can hurt them before they even get close to the wall. Let's see how it does. I'm impressed. That's better than I was expecting. And it's because they get caught on this little water ridge here. But where they are not, where they're just running straight at the wall, they are crashing into it and doing a lot of damage still. Oh, also, I changed it so that the robots show on the map here so I can see where they're going, where they're flying. And that also lets me know I'm not too happy about this. I am not the happiest about the bots flying across this ocean here and in an area where they can get attacked. I had not thought about that. But you can see where my bots are moving around now. And that's done by pressing F4 to bring up the debug menu and scrolling down here to where it says show logistic robots on map. And after you do that, you'll be able to see these little boxes of everywhere the robots are flowing. It's really good for understanding where your robots are going and if they're taking the most optimal path or doing stuff like this and going across the water, and where they're running out of power and just floating to get recharged. But like I said, we've got a few things to do in today's episode. One is going to be get down there and take care of the biters that are down here. And number two is going to be look at maybe building the assembly lines, or at least one of them, for our satellite rocket silo. We could make this right now if I just go around and grab a few things. And then we'll have to supply it with what it needs. And then we're also going to need to make satellites. And that's pretty simple. I should be able to request everything right here. All of these ingredients for the satellite are in our logistic network. So I've got a few things in my inventory I need to get rid of. Some ores from picking up meteors that had fallen on the surface already. I'm just tossing them into the different production lines where they go. And then I come over here and throw all the coal that I can into this thing and let it produce some processed fuel for us. And I like to keep a couple of hundred on me to fuel my vehicles and take care of moving around the map when I need things. My locomotive, my tank that I keep on me. That's what I use the processed fuel for. If I really wanted to, what I should work at is getting the nuclear fuel. That has the best acceleration and top speed. Yeah, really good acceleration. Same top speed as just the regular solid rocket fuel. But also it has a much larger fuel value. And we're enriching a lot of our uranium-235, so that's not an issue. But let's dump out the last bits of all of those things, and that'll turn all of those into some processed fuel. Okay, so we need to build the satellite rocket silo. I'm going to need a lot more concrete, steel, and some electric engines. And I'm just going to run grab them. I could request the bots to do it, but it takes time to do so, and I'm faster than they are right now. Now once we get up into space, and I can do a few more levels of research, the bots will be much quicker. And we can start utilizing them better. Let's see, I believe that was enough. It is. Now we need 1,000 steel and 200 electric engines. And I have steel being collected here, but I think it's only 400. Yep. So we need to grab the rest off of the line. Alright, that's enough steel, and we'll have a little extra left over for things that we need to craft. And now we just need the electric engines. When I put this thing down, I'll know exactly what I need in order to build the parts. Because you have to supply the silo with the resources it needs to craft percentages of a rocket. And we're going to just come right out down here a little ways. I'm going to have to set up some production lines. Specifically, I know that I'm going to need rocket control units, and I am making a couple, over at our mall, but I'm going to want a production line for them. Okay, so heat shield, low density structure, rocket control units, and solid rocket fuel. I'm already producing everything except for the rocket control units in a production line. So we'll be able to bring everything over here for this. We need to make a rocket control unit production line. And that requires reds, blues, batteries, glass, and iron. None of that's very difficult. It's just primarily the craft time. It takes 30 seconds to make one. We can make that go much faster with our beacons and putting a lot of machines down. So what I'm going to want to do here is something. This is kind of messy. I really probably should move this, but I might want to use this still. So we'll leave it for right now. I need reds and blues. Batteries, which will be up here. Right here are our batteries. So let's break free of this little area, and we'll probably build our production line right up this way. Let me just make sure. Yes, so we have room to expand. And I want to do it in line with those machines there. So we have 5 ingredients. We're going to need to put some stuff on either. We're going to need the double side belts, essentially. So I'm going to want, very easily I can do the reds and blues. They're right next to one another. I can just put a belt here and then feed the blues right into this. That'll give us reds and blues sharing a belt. I don't need these power poles thrown everywhere. We'll have the reds and blues come right up close by. Like that. And this is batteries. What I may do is do batteries on their own belt, and then we'll just do glass and iron plate on another belt. And that will make this very simple. This will just be batteries. I can bring an entire belt forward. And that's where we're going to run our reds and blues. red and blue circuits, batteries. Now I just need to combine glass and iron plate. That's easy enough. Because I have glass right here that I can snag off. Need to move that a little bit forward so I can clear this belt. Of course. Okay, so this is another simple thing where I just want to do iron and glass. Now we need to load, and we can use the slower inserters because this is going to take in a very long time. It's a 30-second craft time, like we said, so even sped up, it's never going to get so fast that regular inserters can't handle it. This gives us a very good expandable blueprint after we add in some power poles. And make a small blueprint of this. Now, 30 seconds a piece means I'm going to need a lot of these. Oh, I ran out of nanobot cartridges. They're ammo. Over here trying to figure out why in the world they stopped building. And I'm already making solar panels and accumulators in very large lines there. And those are required for the satellite. So I can just snag off of those lines. While I'm here, let's take a look. I'm going to grab some more regular inserters, fast inserters, long-handeds, belt I'm running low on. We've got some undergrounds and splitters. Power poles were good. Okay, I think we'll be alright for the moment. That way I don't run over there and realize, oh man, I really needed such and such and have to run back and grab it. Also, on the way back, we will go ahead and put our chest down to hold a small one stack of each of these solar panels and accumulators. There we go. Now, I have, like I said, low density structures. I have heat shielding. I have pretty much everything else required to make the rocket fuel. It's just this that I need being made much quicker. And I believe I can handle 1 a second or 30 of these machines running. Because what that means is I'll need 5 red circuits a second, 1 blue a second, 5 batteries a second, 5 glass a second, 5 iron a second. I know I have everything there except for maybe the reds. As long as I'm not running anything else, I know I'll have the reds, the red circuits, the advanced circuits, because I'm making more than 5 a second. But if I'm consuming them for a lot of other things, I won't be getting 5 a second here. We will go ahead and put down 30 of these as soon as I find the little bitty blueprint I just made. So we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Oh. Put that down the wrong spot. Oops. Let's see, how many assemblers is that? 26. So I need to do 2 more. It's going to be a really long production line. And then we have to add a couple of little power poles down here at the end. But when these get rolling, with no modules added into it, it will not produce 1 a second because these move at 0.75 crafting speed. But if I put 2 speed 1s in, I get a little bit over 1 crafting speed. Oh boy. We just used a lot of them. We're going to have to grab some more. But look at it already. Going to back up here. In fact, let's do this. And make a buffer. You know how we like our buffers? For these, I'm just going to leave it wide open because they only stack to 10. So a full chest of these is nowhere near as many items as our other ingredients. But we'll run down here, grab some more speed module 1s, go back up, finish that so that every single machine is producing just barely faster than 1 per second. And we'll get essentially 1 rocket control unit a second as long as I can provide enough reds to that. And if we're not making enough reds, I'll look at a way in which we can ramp up the production line down there. There we go. So with that done, we have everything we need to come over here and place our silo. I'm actually probably going to place it right up here because I can request everything with robots to be brought to this. What did I do with it? There we go. The graphics are different than what I'm used to. So sometimes I struggle with locating what it is that I'm trying to find. There we go. She's powered. So now we just need requester chests. And there's 5 because we have 4 ingredients, and the 5th one is going to request satellites. So we need heat shielding. We're going to ask for 200 because this will use 5 heat shielding to make 1 rocket part. And that 1 rocket part, I'm pretty sure, is 1% of the rocket, which means I'm going to need 500 heat shielding to make 1 rocket. But I don't necessarily need to have all of it in here at one time. The bots can bring it. So let's look over here. Low density structures are the same. We're going to request 200 of them. And we may end up asking for the full 500. I don't know how quickly I'm going to want to be launching these into space. Same thing with our rocket control units. We're going to ask for 200, which is a lot of rocket control units. And then we need double that in solid rocket fuel because it takes 10 solid rocket fuel per craft. So we're going to do 400 instead of the 200. Now also I need to make sure, can this hold 400? Yes, because this is 100, 200, 300, 400. It can hold a little bit more than 400. The items that only stack to 10 throw me off. I have to think about it. I'm used to them either being the 50 or the 100. So now we need to request satellites, and I know we're not making them yet. We're about to go take care of that though. And when we do, it'll be good to go. So now that's the only thing that we're lacking. Oh, why am I making so many gears by hand? I have them on the belt right here. There we go. I really should have stack inserters made in the mall. But I'm trying to get us to where we can see what's going on. Start launching satellites and see what the world has to offer us, what planets will generate, what's going on. The first thing we're going to be able to see is the orbit of our first planet, Novice. And there's stuff up in orbit around our planet we need to get to. But we can't really do that until we know what's up there, so this will help. Now let's see, the satellite, everything here the satellite requires, we are already making and already have in the system. So I'm going to come back over close to our mall and put down a machine that just makes satellites. And it can move slow. This doesn't have to be super fast. We're not going to be launching rockets into space all that often. I mean, in the beginning we will be launching quite a few, but it doesn't have to happen every minute or so. Actually, let's do that as a stack inserter, and this one can be a fast inserter. Excuse me. I don't want to have a whole lot of satellites being made, so I'm going to take this down to limit this to one stack, and it'll keep one in here at all times, because I think it'll craft one, put it out, craft another one, and then wait until that one is taken out. So I won't have a bunch of satellites just sitting in a chest somewhere. But look at the robots go now. They're quite busy. We should go see. You can put modules into this, and I'm thinking right now I should probably put some production module 3s into our satellite rocket so it doesn't take all of the resources. We're already 28% of the way there. It's moving and grooving. We're waiting on solid rocket fuel, and it's being delivered. You know what we're going to do? We're going to double up on the solid rocket fuel. And instead of just requesting double the amount in one chest, we're going to have 2 chests to load into this at one time. And that should significantly help. Now, I also want this to build quickly, so I'm going to put speed modules 3s in this beacon. So now we've got a crafting speed of 1.8, and we have productivity. Oh, we have an hour and a half until the coronal mass ejection comes. That's what that little was. It's a warning, an advance warning. We have an hour and a half, and I do not have anywhere near enough power saved. So that'll be an interesting thing. That may happen in the next episode or the episode following. I'm not sure exactly what the timeline's going to look like here, but I'll be sure to catch that on camera for you guys. It's probably going to be a mess since I don't have enough power yet. Yeah, that is a good speed. And with the productivity in there, every now and then we're going to get an extra part. Very nice. Wait a minute. Is that doing 2% instead of 1% at a time? It is doing 2%. That's also a very nice difference there, because I'm fairly certain in vanilla Factorio it's a 1% progress towards your rocket. And I think this has changed. But now we need to check to see what's going on. Oh, we have a satellite on its way already. That's what over on the right hand side, right below filters, where it shows the satellite with 1, it shows deliver with a satellite image and 1, which means there's already one in the system being carried by a robot to this requester chest right now. We should be able to launch this very soon. That's perfect. It's exactly what I wanted to achieve in this episode. Here it goes. Look at the glory. They did a really good job with this animation. I like it a lot. Alright, the satellite is loaded. It's time to launch our first satellite. We are effectively beating the game, according to vanilla standards. But this is barely tipping the iceberg of our mods. Alright, so disregard that. We did build solar panels, but they're modded. We never placed any of the vanilla solar panels down. But now you can see, we've launched a satellite. There's more information for us to look here. We can see our own orbit, and you can see there's something here. If I click View Surface, this is what I was talking about. What we need to get into space and get access to. There's already science packs waiting for us in space that we can use. And there's already a science lab and a few different ingredients you can use to make things, and a couple of weapons. I think that's the cryo gun and the Tesla gun, which are a lot of fun to play with. So we need to work towards getting a cargo rocket and getting ourselves up here into orbit and getting to this platform. But we are not ready for that yet. You need to have a space suit, a thruster suit is what it's called right here, with life support, and you need life support canisters so you don't suffocate, and a lot of things going. But this gets us to where we can view stuff. It's already ready to launch another one. This is amazing. This is perfect. So what we discovered was the planet Alaz and Alaz orbit. And we can see Alaz is a planet, and it's got vulcanite, holmanite, and a lot of the other resources we're used to, coal, stone, copper. But you can see vulcanite and holmanite are both new resources that are on this planet. And here's the best part about this. You see this where it says threat 0%? That means that there is not a single biter on that planet anywhere. We can go to that planet and not have to worry about having to defend our structures and worry about getting attacked or destroyed. So, I think we've made some pretty good, significant progress in this episode, and we have the ability to launch rockets at a pretty quick pace. I'm going to fire quite a few off camera and discover more of what's going on in our solar system and see what planets there are that we can go and colonize, build a base on. Maybe there's quite a few that have no biters, and we can go start building really big things there. I want to set up the production lines so that we can build a cargo rocket, because we need to get into orbit around our planet. And somewhere along in the way, that coronal mass ejection is going to hit our planet, and we'll get that thrown in there. If you enjoyed today's episode, feel free to hit the like button, and if you want to see more content like this, feel free to subscribe to my channel. And I will see you all next time.